All right, I had a nice little surprise come today. Let me switch this around here. I had this pickup come today. I ordered it about 6 weeks ago-ish. If I flip back to the other camera here, it came from Gemini Pickups. Now, I discovered Gemini Pickups. One day I ended up on some rabbit hole with Rycooter's Cooter Caster. And I have a couple, this is one of them. I think I have two parts casters at the moment that I'll experiment on. If I get an itch, I'll try and scratch it with one of these. This one and another one, they're both warm-off parts casters. But I discovered Gemini because he makes he calls the pickup the Suprocaster pickup, and it emulates that lap steel pickup that Rycooter uses in his Cooter caster, but he can do it in regular spacing. In my case, I wanted a Telecaster spacing, and then I got a gold foil for the neck. And you've seen that guitar before. I think I've talked about it before. It's my one custom guitar I have, but they were perfect. And one of the other things that sets Gemini pickups apart, and I've never seen any other makers do this, is they don't wax pot. They can wax pot, but the special thing they do that I thought was unique is they lacquer pot the pickups, which retains some of that openness, but still get a little more suppression than you would from an unpotted pickup, and a little bit less suppression than wax potting. But they sound fantastic. I mean, they're just perfect. That guitar, I had been looking for pickups for over 20 years, and I never really had the sound I wanted out of it until I got those pickups. They're just perfect. Fast forward to this guitar. I had an old DiMarzio DP103 in here in the past. I've had a Seymour Duncan JB in here with the F spacing. And if you're not familiar with F spacing, Fender guitars or old Fender bridges, the spacing on the old trem bridges, sometimes you hear it called Humbucker, sometimes you hear it called F spacing. The Seymour Duncan JB I had was F spaced, so the poles line up under the strings properly. This one I requested F spacing, and it does not look like F spacing, but they don't advertise F spacing, so I don't hold that against them. I just made a note when I ordered the pickup F spacing if possible. If not, I'm totally cool with it. This guitar sounds pretty good without the F spacing anyway, but I don't know if you can see it here, but the E and... Yeah, by the time you get to the D, the A, and the E, they're not perfectly spaced. But the way those things are vibrating, I don't think of it as a huge issue. In any case, so this humbucker here is what Gemini calls a Mercury 1 humbucker. And on this one, because I'm not going to play live, I'm not going to do anything other than what you see me doing here. And I'm totally happy with it. I'm not trying to do anything other than have a little fun. So this is unpotted. Part of the magic, I think, with old pickups is the unpotted part of it. There's nothing suppressing any of the noise that the pickups are bringing in. And as a result, and here my volume pedal's up, you're going to hear a weird delay because my mic is still on, but once I start playing, I'll turn that off. But in any case, are you hearing any hum out of the ordinary? I'm not. Test, test, test. Is there any microphonics? Microphonics. I don't think there's any microphonics either. So as it is, Gemini just makes, in my mind, they're 100%. Even for a guy like me who I kind of know what I like, but I don't really know what I like. Like, there aren't many people around that have really tried all the different windings and techniques and applications. This particular guitar is unique in that it's an extremely light piece of swamp ash. In fact, this thing is probably closer to 5 pounds than 6. I've never weighed it, and it has a double expanding truss rod in it, so it could be even lighter if I had like a vintage style neck. and maybe vintage style tuners. These are locking tuners, staggered locking tuners. Yep, this is quarter sawn as well, nitrocellulose, finished neck. Again, the body's just a super light piece of swamp ash. I think I have a .022 capacitor in there, and I'm pretty sure these pots are 500K. But the install went perfect. I love it on a simple guitar like this because you go in there, you dot a couple things of solder on there, and you're back in business. The only issue I had is with these strings. I've had issues with everything except the pickup here. I tried to make this video once already, but then I noticed for some reason my shortcut to turn my mic on and off wasn't working, and of course I didn't notice it until after I had babbled for 3 minutes. So that's why I'm making this video again. But and then I had a dead E string. I had to bust open another pack of strings and get a different E string out, which is irritating to me. But I'm still on the search for strings. I literally used the same strings for over 30 years. But over the last, let me think here, I stopped using them maybe a little over a year ago because I kept getting bad A strings. I think I got like 6 A strings out of 8 packs of strings, 6 bad A strings. I literally had them on all my guitars for my entire life. And it's funny how you change something like strings. I don't bend the same anymore. My intonation's a little different. I don't feel as if I've ever quite readjusted. It's interesting how your muscle memory develops based on some of those unseen, unheard things, and you don't realize it until you change it. So I'll probably go back to my strings I've played my whole life, which is DR Pure Blues 10s. These right now, this one that I got the bad E string on is the Fender Bullet End Voodoo Hendrix strings, whatever that is. They're 10s on the top, and then they're lighter on the bottom for supposedly balanced tension. I'm pretty sure D'Addario makes, well, I know they do because I tried them. They make a balanced tension set. I tried a number of years ago. I don't even know if they still make them, and I didn't find any big difference there, and I don't really find a big difference here. The only reason I ended up trying these is because I wanted to get some bullet end strings for my couple strats I have instead of ball end strings. So I figured out what the hell, I'll try the Voodoo. Again, I'm sorry, I forget what the full name is, but they're Voodoo something or other strings. But in any case, new pickup today. Wasn't planning on it coming, wasn't paying attention, but it was cool. I got it installed. Let's have a little jam. All right, so I'd say maybe as far as PAF style pickups go, again, this is called the Mercury 1 Humbucker. I love these. This guy, I don't know if he has more people working for him or not, but it's kind of a small operation when it comes delivered wrapped in a napkin and some newspaper. I don't know why. I just love that. That's fucking rock and roll to me. That's somebody doing it because they want to, not doing it because they're supposed to, or doing it because they're doing it for a living. It's the kind of thing it was made from the right place, I guess. I don't know. That's what I'm telling myself at least. But I would, this guy's my favorite, one of my favorite businesses, period, just because I'm just some random guy working at a working man's level, showing up out of nowhere, placing an order, and the stuff's just coming 100%. It's one thing if you're, a professional, or if you're somebody who's known and they're making sure they take care of you, but it's another thing when you're nobody and they make sure they're taking care of you. And that's what's got a lot of traction with me. Like, this stuff's just coming beautiful. So thank you, Gemini Pickups. If you ever end up watching this video, appreciate you staying and hanging out. I'm really looking forward to living with this pickup, especially in this guitar. This guitar I'm now officially declaring as done. So again, thank you much. Until next time.